Good evening, everyone. This is Pradeep Ambassador of Change from GETI, Lucknow, a global education and training institute. We are the premier institute for training teachers and principals in India and several parts of the world. And we have many in-service and pre-service programs. For more information, please go to 740-840-1000. Right now, you are on our disruptive education platform. And on this platform, we have met with and interacted with more than 1,500 educators from India and all over the world. And this evening, we have for you Mrs. Lynn Ujiagbe. She's the founder of the Learnzone Foundation in Port Harcourt in Nigeria. And she is an educator, a writer, and a social worker. And today she will be speaking to us on relevant tips on educational leadership. Welcome, ma'am. Good evening, and over to you, ma'am.
A very good evening to everyone. Nigerian time is about 2:30. It's a pleasure to be here and to share from my own wealth of experience. My name is Lynn Ujiagbe. I'm an educator, the founder of the Learnzone Foundation, Nigeria. I'm a writer, I'm a coach, I'm a life coach, I'm an author, I'm a public speaker, and I'm a school leader. So today I'd like to share a few relevant tips on educational leadership. Educational leadership is a fun thing to do, especially if you have charted your course to change lives. If you have joined the train of educators to cause change, not just locally, but globally. So I'd like us to look at this quote that says, leadership is not a position or a title, it's an action and an example. So this shows that leadership is not about the name a leader. It's all about the actions you're going to take to cause change, and it's all about leading by example. So every educational leader is an example to his team, the subordinates, and the school community. So leadership is not positional. Leadership is more of action and then caring for people enough to lead by example so that you can transform lives and transform the school community. So move to the next slide. So educational leaders play a vital role. They play a pivotal role in affecting the climate, attitude, and reputation of their institutions of learning. They form the cornerstone as well as the pillar on which learning communities function and grow. With successful educational leadership, schools become effective incubators of learning, places where students are not only educated but challenged, nurtured, and encouraged. So these are some of the challenges of the sorry, to be a successful educational leader, you have to have a vision and a plan. It's like going to shopping. You're going for shopping and you don't have a shopping list. So you just go and then you see tomatoes, you buy it. You see onions, you buy it. You see yam tubers, you buy it. There's no focus, there's no plan. So as an educational leader, you should have a vision and a plan for your people, for your school community, and for your team. So in that way, you'll be able to succeed as a leader. What is your vision for the school? What plans do you have for the curriculum? What plans do you have for teaching and learning? What plans do you have for your staff? What plan do you have to move the school community forward? So you have to be able to have a plan and a vision to relate to your team and then the school community and show them the way to get that vision accomplished. You must understand the importance of building a school community. These days, everybody's talking about social capital. You don't work alone as a leader. You are there to build a team, to build a community of people that believe in what you believe in, to build a team of people that have a focus to meet the same goals and vision that have been laid down in the institution. You must empower your subordinates and cultivate leadership skills. How do you empower them? You have to show them the way. You have to also know the way to show them. You have to also empower them, give them skills and knowledge that will help them to improve the teaching and learning in the school. You must be skilled and you should be able to utilize data and resources. As a leader, a lot lies in your hands. How do you utilize data, assessments, results? How do you utilize resources, your financial resources, your products? your marketing strategy. How do you utilize these resources to move your school forward? These are some of the things that good leadership has to think about and act about. You have to create collaborative and inclusive learning environments. Collaboration, they say, is a new competition. As a school leader or an educational leader, you have to put collaboration to good use. Even for 21st century learners, collaboration is one of the key factors. So, as a leader, you have to imbibe collaboration in the school community, not only with the teachers, but also with the pupils and also with the parents. So, you have to be collaborative in your approach on leading your team as an educational leader. Exhibit passion for your role. I always tell school leaders that the only way you can motivate people and the fastest way is you have to model what you want them to follow. So if you're passionate about your role as a leader, if you're all about leadership, if you're doing the right thing, leading with integrity and focus and diligence, you find out that before a short time, everybody in your team begins to catch up with the vibe. Everybody begins to key into your passion. Everybody wants to be so passionate about what is going on in the school community. You have to lead by example. How do you lead by example? You want them to show integrity, you have to have integrity. You want them to model good behavior, you have to have good behavior. You want them to follow rules, then you as a leader mustn't break rules. You want them to be truthful and honest, you have to be truthful and honest. You want your team to be respectful, you have to show respect. You want your team to be considerate, you have to show consideration for everyone in the school community. That is what leadership is about, leading by example. A successful leadership, a successful educational leader is a lifelong learner. As an educator, as an educational leader, you have to love learning. Learning doesn't stop. Learning is an endless journey. You have to love learning. In fact, learning and leadership are inseparable. So, as an educational leader, you have to pay attention to your learning goals. You have to take learning seriously. You have to learn about the school community. You have to learn about the new trends in education, how you're going to catch up with that trend, how you're going to move your institution or school to meet up with the current trends in 21st century teaching and learning. You have to move your school to be a global institution by learning and by leading through learning. So as an educator or an educational leader, a lot lies on your shoulders, a whole lot. And it's on you to take this forward. So I just want to be sure I've not missed any slides. Okay. So this quote by Pj Kapos. Pj Kapos was a principal and a leader in a school in the US. He said the most important rule of educational leadership is to always remember that people, not policies or programs, are what drives highly effective schools. So do you want your school to be effective? Do you want to move your school to the next level? Then you have to pay attention to people that are under you. You have to pay attention to the teachers. You have to pay attention to your subordinates. You have to pay attention to everybody in the school community. People matter the most. Policies are very good. Programs are excellent, but you have to pay attention to the people that work for you, the people that work with you. If you're able to move them, to show them the direction, to push them in a particular level, you'll be amazed at how far you can achieve your organizational goals as a school. So let's look at the next slide. Okay, so just take a few 7 characteristics of effective educational leaders. Leaders radiate positive energy. As a leader, you should carry positivity. Optimism should be one of your strong points. How do you face crisis? If you're optimistic, if you have positive energy, you will be able to handle crisis perfectly because your positivity will see the good side and then you'll be in the right frame of mind to think of positive avenues to solve problems. As a leader, you have to have a balanced life. You cannot give what you don't have as a leader. Before you teach people, children, the students, the school community on how to balance life, you should have a balanced life. There should be time for everything. Time to be able to imbibe the 4 ways of well-being. You should have time to be active, you should have time to learn, you should have time to, have peace, and you have time to be in the present, you have time to relax. You have time to also work. You should be organized. For you as a leader to have a balanced life, you should have organizational skills at your fingertips. Leaders create synergy. As a leader, you should be able to create synergy in the school environment. Leaders are service oriented. Leadership is not for people to serve you. Leadership is for you to serve. So remember that and build that into your team to know that work of educators, the work of a leader is to give service. So if you have the mind to give service, you have an open mind towards everyone. You'll be able to be humble enough to accept criticism. You'll be able to move your team with a mind of customer is king, and that we do everything to ensure that the reasons why our customers bring the children, the reasons why children come to us or students come to our organization is to give them premium and top-notch service. So as leaders, we should be service-oriented. Leaders believe in other people. As a leader, you must believe in your team. You must believe in people. You should have that idea in you that everybody has the ability to win. You don't put a full stop on anyone, not on the children, not on the students, not on the parents, not on your staff, not on your subordinates or the teacher. You should have that spirit and that belief that everybody can improve and everybody can be better. I've said it before, the leaders are continual learners. So to be an effective leader, you must never stop learning. Leaders see life as an adventure. How will you be able to move your school or institution forward? Is by having the belief that you can take risks and you can learn and you can win. So as a leader, you must see life as an adventure. How to master your craft in educational leadership. There are certain things that you can do that would help you to master your leadership skills and take your organization or your school to the next level. Let's look at some of these tips. First of all, you have to master your educational leadership skills. If you want to lead a school, you must have leadership skills. You make sure you are continually sharpening your ability to lead. Always have a PDP to stay afloat in the education industry. What's a PDP? A PDP is your professional development plan. As a leader, you should always have a plan to move from one level to another, a reading plan, a plan for courses, a plan for different things you need to learn in the course of the school year. What is your plan for yourself to grow your leadership? What is your plan to grow your knowledge about the trends in the education industry? What is your plan to grow your knowledge and broaden your horizon as it concerns global standards in education? So it's very important that you should sharpen your skills, your leadership skills from time to time. The next point I want to talk about is master your emotions. As a school leader, your positive or negative emotion can either increase or decrease your energy level. Mastering your emotions can give you the ability to manage your energy level, which is very powerful leadership skill. So as a leader, your energy level is important. So you have to keep up the positivity level because it's a ripple effect. If a school has a positive leader, it ripples down to every part of the organization. Everybody has a positive outlook because of your positivity. Master communication. Become a great communicator by observing and listening. You need these skills because great educational leaders are always skilled communicators. These skills will come in handy when you're talking to educational stakeholders and other members of the school community. If you don't have good communication skills, there's going to be a lot of obstacles in your organization. Your work as an educator is mostly to communicate ideas, communicate visions, communicate plans, communicate strategies. So your number one point, which you should take very seriously, is how to manage your communication skills. Another point I want to talk about is admit your mistakes when you're wrong. When you're wrong and make a mistake, always acknowledge it. This is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. Being honest with yourself is sometimes difficult at, but the more open you are, the more people will trust and respect you as an educational leader. So as a leader, there's nothing wrong with, oh, I'm so sorry about this. I think it would have been this way. Please pardon me. Your team will respect you. They will know that everyone is on a culture of continuous improvement. So do not be afraid to own up to mistakes. It's also a part of being honest and having integrity. Another point is master the ability to spot talent. As an educational leader, you have to employ educators that will help you move your school forward and then move the vision and mission of your school. Because of this, you have to know how to select the right people to work with you in your team. So spot talents. Ensure that as you look at your staff, you are able to know who has a strength in this area, who needs to grow in this area. You spot talent and see how you can leverage on it to move your school forward. Be a good team player. As an educator, you have to see yourself as part of the team and do what it takes to support the team's work. So learn to work in teams. Avoid statements like I. Learn to use we. We did this. We will do this. We can achieve this. It's a win-win for us, not it's a win-win for me. If your team knows that if they win, you win. If they lose, you lose. They will all be involved in the leadership process. So they will be leading from behind while you lead from the front. So be sure that as a leader, you imbibe team spirit in your team and in the school community. Celebrate effort. Acknowledge people's effort. Make your team feel valued for their input. Don't take credit for people's work. So if you run an open door system, there are sometimes when a team member may come up with something very interesting, a captivating, some innovation that is really mind blowing. As a leader, celebrate that person. Celebrate the effort. You find that will also spur other people to put in more into the organization. That will also build the confidence of your followers that, wow, if I do something, I get credit for it. So it speaks volumes as a leader when you celebrate effort as well as give credit to whom credit is due. Be a mentor. As a leader, you need to mentor your employees and provide them with growth opportunities. Mentor them, tell them where areas they need to grow, show them ways they can be better. If you see a weak person, sometimes in a team of teachers or educators, someone has ICT skills that are very top notch, another has public speaking skills, another has writing skills. So put them to good use. And then for those that need to grow in a particular area, take time out to mentor them. If you do not have the time, try to imbibe peer mentoring. You know, a stronger teacher in ICT, help that teacher to mentor a junior teacher to be better in that area. So mentorship is key in the pathway of leadership. Be flexible. A good educational leader gives their subordinate the ability to be flexible, which in turn sparks creativity and innovation. Don't be rigid. Be a transformational leader. Be someone that will say, okay, if plan A is not working, we should have a plan B and C. Everything mustn't end with what you think it should be. Sometimes listen to your subordinates, hear from them. How do you think we could go about this? What do you think we should change about the curriculum? How do we go about this policy? Do you think there's something you can add to it? When you're a flexible leader, you help your team to be more creative and to be more innovative. Build your social capital. This is a win-win for me. I always pay attention to this and reiterate it because for now, social capital is the new gold. Who are the people in your team? Who are the people you can collaborate with? You have to build relationships. Working in a team, working in a school, leadership is built on strong relationships. So as a leader, building a great team makes it's hard work, I know, but it is worth it. So you have to create opportunities for your team to bond and learn to trust one another. So build relationship with your clients, with your customers, with the students, with the teachers. Build a community of people that know the essence of relationship. Avoid micromanaging tendencies. Sometimes it's scary. You don't want to fail as a leader. So you begin to monitor dot by dot if every T has been crossed, if every I has been dotted. But I tell you, sometimes you allow them to do their work the best way that they can. As an educational leader, avoid micromanaging people working with you. It gives them the impression that you don't trust them, which makes them continue to look over their shoulder, believing that they are not good enough. So help them to build independence in themselves. Help them to believe in themselves. Sometimes allow them to make a mistake so that they will learn from it. Sometimes give them room, give instructions, and see how they can follow through. You can be there to manage them, but don't be micromanaging them by making sure that you are there every minute of the day. It makes them not to be confident in whatever they are doing. Remember that leadership is 80% delegation and 100% responsibility. So you have to also delegate 80% and take responsibility for 100% of whatever they are going to do, which is very important. Hold people accountable when people are not in your team. Hold them accountable. When people are not held accountable, you don't get the best from them. And the education environment will be characterized by mediocrity. That you don't want that to happen as a leader. So hold people accountable. Agile line managers, you have to hold them accountable. There should be policies, job descriptions that cover what everybody's supposed to do. So when I know what to do, I should be held responsible if that thing is not done. If you don't have a watertight system, you find it that you can't hold people for things that go wrong, and then it will bring down your leadership strategies. So make sure as a leader, you hold people accountable for things that they are supposed to do, and then for things that are under the job description. Give trust to earn trust. So as a leader, you must trust your team. When you trust your team of educators, you give them the feeling that they can do almost anything, and in return, they'll trust you. So trust is very important. People used to say a team is a group of people that work well. I believe that a team is a big group of people that have trust in each other. So make sure your team of educators, your subordinates, are a team of people that trust one another. And it starts with you as a leader. You have to be intentional about how you build trust in your school community. Lead with love and compassion. Your subordinates are not robots. They have feelings and they have emotions. So lead with love and compassion. And with your team, live in love and compassion with your team, and your team will perform above your expectations because they know you have their best interests at heart. Just like with children, we usually say that a child will learn from you when they're emotionally connected with you. So with your subordinates, you have to connect with them to be able to make them listen to you. So do you know where they live? Do you know what they are going through? Do you know the phases of their life? Do you know important milestones that are happening to them? Are you a leader that they can come to tell them about issues they are going through? Are you someone you have empathy enough to strike a balance, make excuses for people sometimes? They're not robots, they're human beings, and then sometimes they have feelings and emotions. They want to know that you care. And when they know you care, they can do anything to ensure that the organization moves forward because they'll care much more. And when they are caring and you have a team of caring people, to achieve the organizational goals will be easy peasy. So I want to urge all educational leaders out there, know that you can lead, you can be firm, you can be a lion and a lamb at the same time. You can lead with love and compassion and still be the leader that you want to be. This quote is very interesting, and I just want to talk a bit about it. It says, effective leaders lead by example, with honesty, confidence, and compassion, intelligence, and humor. So you have to be honest as a leader. You have to have confidence in what you're doing, and you have to help your team to build confidence as well. Confidence is key in every sector, in every organization. The people that work under you should believe in themselves, and you as a leader should know your onions enough for you to believe in yourself. You have what will help you to build confidence, and to have confidence is every part of the curriculum. You know every part of all the things happening in the school. You're on top of everything that is going on. Then you have confidence. You have to lead with compassion. You have to be intelligent. You have to be apt as regards solving problems of the school community. And you have to have humor. Sometimes you relax. Sometimes you laugh with your colleagues. Sometimes you just have fun. Life cannot be robotic, right? Life cannot be like walking on a straight line all the time. Sometimes there should be time to relax. Find events that will make your team unwind. You can have maybe an exercise session, a dance session, a tea party for staff, something to make them, ease off. Meetings shouldn't be on a straight line. Sometimes you relax, help your team to unwind, help them to know that life is a potpourri of different kind of emotions, including laughter and love and happiness and joy. Ineffective leaders merely mislead themselves. And I know that you listening to me out there, you're not an ineffective leader. You're a leader that wants to make a difference. You're a leader that works with honesty and has confidence in what you're doing. You're a leader that is intelligent enough to work with compassion. And then there's a leader, lest I forget, emotional intelligence is key. Any leader, educational leader that has not imbibed or tried to incorporate emotional intelligence to your leadership, there are bound to be loops in your leadership. So learn to be an emotional intelligent leader. It will help your team to move forward. This quote says leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that impact lasts in your absence. So, what does this tell us? You're not there so that people can't do without you. As a good leader, you're there because you know the way and you can show the way. And leadership is about people. So, if you make them better, they are bound to make the organizations better. And then, if you pay attention to how they grow as subordinates, you find out that even when you're not there, you have left imprints of your footsteps in their life and in the organization. So there'll be a lasting effect of your leadership, even when you're out of that place. People can look back and say, oh, wow, when Lynn was here, she did a good job. I learned this because of her. I got to this point because of her. I was able to build my strengths and minimize my weaknesses. Even though she's not here, but I'm a better person because she was here. So your leadership should be based on how you can make your team grow, how you can give lasting impressions in the minds of people, how you can give lasting results so that even when you leave, all the things you put in place will stand for you. And then they may not, like the saying that people may forget what you said, but they won't forget the way you made them feel. So your goal should be how to add value to the people that work for you, how to add value to your school community, how to add value to your subordinates. So it should be a mindset for leadership in education. Leadership is more about making other people better as a result of your presence and making sure that the impact lasts in your absence. So thank you so much. I really appreciate this time. I hope I'll be able to use up my 30 minutes very well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the talk on relevant tips in education leadership. Does humor have a role in all this, ma'am?
Sorry?
Does humor have a role in all this?
Yeah, there's
Humor.
humor is yes, humor is very important. Sometimes you have to laugh with your team. Sometimes you crack a joke, everybody laughs, and then it's fun to work with people that have humor. Because sometimes it's so stressful and they're thinking about how am I going to do this? How am I going to work overnight to ensure results are ready? And you throw in a joke, everybody laughs, and then you ease the tension of the moment. So humor plays a very vital role in every part of human existence. Yes, sir.
True. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. And before we leave, I request you all to watch our detox from our disruptive literacy movement by Global Dream, which has been an initiative by Dr. Sunita Gandhi since 2014. This is to ensure everyone's participation by a people's movement in helping India achieve total foundational literacy and numeracy. On this, we have talks every day. And for the talks that you might want to tune into, please go to 7408401000. So good evening, everybody. Thank you, ma'am. Good night,
Thank you so much.
and
Thank
see
you.
you all again
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Thank
much.
you. Yeah. Bye.